The 2023 preseason AP poll is out, so we're going to break it down. I'm going to give you my analysis and reaction. I do want to preface with I think the preseason poll is the most overrated thing we do in sports. There were 15 schools last year who were ranked in the preseason poll and did not even finish the season ranked. So the committee, or the AP voters rather, went 10 for 25 and accurately predicting schools that started the year ranked and ended the year ranked. And half of those 10 schools were the top 5. So let's get started, though, with number 25, and that is the Iowa Hawkeyes. With a new quarterback, Michigan transfer Cade McNamara, maybe they'll hit the over for a change in 2023. The Tulane Green Wave, after a Cotton Bowl win a season ago, 12 wins, they come in at 24. Jimbo Fisher's Aggies, who were 23 this year, well, they were 6 last year, so high expectations once again. Let's see if they can deliver. Then you've got Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss Rebels coming in at 22, and the Drake May-led North Carolina Tar Heels at 21. Coming in at number 20 after a disastrous 2022 season, Brent Venable and the Oklahoma Sooners look to bounce back from their worst season since 1998. Then you've got a new head coach in Madison, Wisconsin, Luke Fickell and the Badgers at 19. Oregon State comes in at 18. They quietly won 10 games last year, but no one noticed because they were in, of course, the Pac-4 now. TCU coming in at 17, the runner-ups from the national championship game. They got gutted from the NFL draft. Their starting quarterback, running back, and wide receiver all went, and more too. So let's see how Sonny Dykes can bounce back this season. And the team that TCU lost to in the Big 12 championship, the Kansas State Wildcats. They are in at number 16. Now, who do you think the most overrated team is going into 2023? Might be one of the schools we just looked at. It might be a school coming up in the rankings. But give me your thoughts in the comment section. Which school you think is the most overrated? If I had to go with one, give me Penn State. I just think they are the most mid team that quietly gets by with a really easy Big Ten schedule and just takes their chalk losses to Ohio State, Michigan, or anyone else that's really above them in the Big Ten. At number 15, I'm going to go with the The AP poll is going with the Oregon Ducks and Bo Nix. A really good 2022 campaign. Let's see how Oregon fares this season. Then you got another Pac-12 school. Wow, that's going to take some time to get used to. A Big 12 school now in the Utah Utes. They've got some quarterback issues. They've got some injuries at that spot, but if they get healthy, they're going to be another really good team. Notre Dame Fighting Irish at 13 with transfer quarterback Sam Hartman from Wake Forest. Then at Tennessee, at number 12, you have the Tennessee Volunteers. They no longer have Hendon Hooker at quarterback, no Jalen Hyatt, no Cedric Tillman. They lost a lot of key players, but Joe Milton was the player of the game in their Orange Bowl victory over the Clemson Tigers and Dabo Swinney. So I think Josh Heupel is going to do just fine this year and probably do a little bit better than number 12. The other UT, Texas Longhorns, come in at number 11. Let's see how Quinn Ewers does this year going into his last year in the Big 12. Then in 2023 AP poll for number 10, it's the Washington Huskies, another team that kind of just flew under the radar, but they've got a really good quarterback in Michael Penix. At 9, it's Dabo's Clemson Tigers. I feel like we're entering a new era of Clemson football with Sean Watson and Trevor Lawrence firmly behind them now. Let's see how they do with Cade in 2023. At number 8, it is the Florida State Seminoles. They've got Jordan Travis. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. This ranking does not surprise me too much. At number 7, this is the one I thought was a bit too high. The Penn State Nittany Lions. They've got a new quarterback there, which is probably a good thing for the folks in Pennsylvania. You got Drew Aller, so a sophomore that is relatively unknown. He had some experience last year, but a changing of the guard there in Happy Valley. Let's see how they fare under James Franklin. At number 6, it is the USC Trojans, who were oh so close to making the college football playoff a year ago, but the Pac-12 does what the Pac-12 always does. It self-destructs. So let's see how the Heisman returning quarterback Caleb Williams does in 2023. Now, if you love college football, this is the home for you. Make sure to subscribe, because if we can get more subscribers off of our college football content, well, the bosses here at Chat Sports are going to greenlight us to do more college football videos, but we got to show them that this is what the viewers want. So consider subscribing if you have not already. Now, the top 5 teams. At number 5, it is the LSU Tigers. They have quarterback Jaden Daniels, who I think is one of the best quarterbacks in college football this year. So no real surprise here after a really good season a year ago. At number 4, I am sure Alabama fans are not used to this, but Nick Saban's crew is not 1, 2, or even 3 for the first time. It feels like a long time. Now, they've got some questions at quarterback. Jalen Milroe, 4-star QB coming out of Texas, is their leading candidate to start at the quarterback position. So let's see how Nick Saban fares with a changing of the guard at the quarterback spot. At number 3, it is the Ohio State Buckeyes. They have come up so close the last 2 seasons, but the Michigan Wolverines continue to stand in their way in the big game at the end of the year. And that leads us to the number 2 school, the Michigan Wolverines, who have made the college football playoff the last 2 seasons, have come up just short, losing to TCU a season ago, and then the future national champs, the Georgia Bulldogs, the season prior. Now, there are some questions about Harbaugh's future in Ann Arbor, just because his self-induced 4-game suspension was not accepted by the NCAA. So some wonder if that means there's a bigger suspension coming in 2024. Maybe he bows out and actually goes to the NFL like he's been rumored to do the last couple of years. But for Michigan fans, enjoy the number 2 ranking, but only behind the number 1 ranked team, the Georgia Bulldogs, the back-to-back national champions. They also have a new quarterback coming in, so there's going to be some changes in Athens, but they still have Kirby Smart, and that appears to be the nucleus of that team. So as long as they've got the right man at the wheel, Georgia is going to be one of the contending teams for the national championship. But let me know, will Georgia go back to back to back? Can they win 3 straight national championships? Yes or no? Sound off for me in the comment section. And hey, while you're typing a Y for yes or N for no, let me get you guys caught up to speed on today's sponsor, which is our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code CHAT125. When you do that, they're going to give you a 125% deposit bonus. So what does that mean in English? Well, if you put 100 bones in, they give you an extra 125. And if you're wondering what you could bet on, how about some futures on the 2024 national championship game? Georgia at plus 225. I'm not crazy about the value, and three-peating just seems too tough to do. So if you get Bama at plus 600, Ohio State at plus 700, Michigan at 900, LSU at plus 1,200, that's too good a value to sprinkle just a little bit of bones on right there. So I like myself putting maybe, I don't know, Ohio State, Michigan, or even LSU. Those seem like some really good odds for the national championship winner if you don't see a three-peat happening. Now let's run through some of the teams that were receiving votes. Texas Tech came in just on the outside looking in, 101 first-place votes for Texas Tech. So very interesting to see what they have in store in Lubbock. South Carolina, they ended the year on a really high note after a slow start, but Spencer Rattler and company start the year off in Charlotte against UNC, which will be a big test. UCLA coming in with 66 votes, UTSA at 64. The Roadrunners have been very underappreciated the last couple of years. They are definitely a team to keep an eye on. Arkansas Razorback and KJ Jefferson got 22 votes. Then you got Boise State with 17, Pitt with 16. Kentucky no longer has Will Levis, so let's see how the folks in Lexington fare this upcoming year. Louisville with 10. How about Troy? Get some nice respect going for some of the smaller schools, if you will, a non-Power 5 program that's definitely been one of the biggest competitors down there in the Group of 5. They come in with 10 votes. Kansas, after a breakout season, they get 10 votes. Auburn at 7. I feel like there are some sports writers in Alabama that just were a little bit biased maybe and went with the Tigers. Minnesota and PJ Fleck got 6 votes. Duke got 4. Mississippi State got 4 votes as well. The Florida Gators, they are not shaping up for a great season in my eyes. The Illinois Fighting Illini got 3. Baylor got 3 after an underwhelming season. Coastal Carolina, they bring back a starting quarterback, so I think they're in for a good year. And then you got South Alabama getting a vote, NC State getting a vote. How about James Madison? Love to see that. Just moving up their way to the FBS world and already getting some votes for the AP poll. And then Liberty getting 1 vote as well. So what team is everyone sleeping on, right? Is it your school potentially? Let me know which team you think everyone is overlooking, is not giving enough publicity to. Last year, that would have been a school like TCU, who went all the way to the national championship. Which team this year kind of goes on a Cinderella run that no one sees coming, or at least the AP voters don't see coming at this point in time? Make sure to subscribe, by the way, like I said, if you enjoyed the content here at Chat Sports, and specifically our college football videos, subscribe. That way we can do more college football content, and we can show it to the NFL and NBA crew that the CFB world is loud and proud, and they want more videos here at Chat Sports.